So I'm just trying to get you set up exactly where I want you. How's that? Let's try that. So I'm working on a new project. Joro is complete. So I'm going to work from this side. So let me know if you can hear me okay. Just getting my gloves on. I'll tell you one thing though, it doesn't feel as cold tonight. You know, we've had some couple of cold sessions. Doesn't feel it the same tonight. Sorry if you can hear that, it's me blowing down my gloves. Evening, Ryan. Right, let's get the... I'm just explaining. I'm fashionably late, Ryan. It's a busy day. You can hear me okay? Brilliant. That's always good. I do worry about these new mics. I never know if they're working properly. So as you can see, we're starting something new. Let me just... I'm looking forward to this. Let's get it just right, because it's slightly different, this, isn't it? Awesome design. I'm really happy. I spent a bit of time on this. Off to a solid start there, aren't we? With the... So yeah, I'm happy with the design. I'm going to chisel it all out, and I'm actually going to sell this one. This one's going up for sale. That doesn't happen very often with me. So what's everyone been up to this week? Got chisels, got hammer. Let's start over this side. See how the stone feels. Feels quite tough compared to the stuff we were working with last week. But hopefully it goes well. So we've all had a good week. A week has flown by. I think I say that every week, but it really does fly by. How's the slate going? Are we happy with it? So somebody, not really, not happy with slate carving, that's not good. You have to tell me more. It's somebody sent me a message this week saying, got my hammer and chisel, what's the best thing to practice on? How should I practice? And this is a great way to practice. You know, all these different shapes. Very simple, but actually can be really good for a practice. Looking for another chisel. Make sure I've got all of them. Oh, that's nice. That's the one I was after. And one smaller one. Nice stag design, Mr. Kirkpatrick. This is this one's going up for sale. I was just saying to the other guys, I don't often do them for sale like this. I'm always doing commissions and stuff, but this one's going. I've been working on it. It's been sat in the background, and I thought I can have this done in no time. So it'll get carved out, slight polish on, slight chamfer. Then we might stick it in a frame and we'll just put it up for sale when it's done. It's people stumble across it on here, they can send me a message. It will ship anywhere. Maybe not to the US now. Donald Trump's putting an extra tariff on everything. But I prefer not to ship it. I've got no idea what I'm going to charge for it. It's no idea. Whatever someone's willing to pay. Don't forget to hit the not the subscribe button, to hit the like button. Like on the video. I'm trying to get them numbers back up since we had that break after the moving house. We have to get back to where we're at, and I think the like button is going to help us out there. Metal wolf mount, I like that. It's look out for a picture of them. Well, I finished the Joro sign we were doing last week. I'm going to send Connor a message. No tariff for the UK yet. Not yet, no. Storm is on eggshells. Which way to go? They'll cut a deal. They'll all cut a deal. So yeah, I finished the Joro sign. Hopefully going to go and deliver that to them guys on Friday. Going to send him a message. He's got me a woolly hat to wear. Or a beanie. Was it a Joro beanie? I'll have that in a few shots. So I'm going to do this. And then we've got a couple of pet memorials. What are all the stones cut and ready to go. And then we've got a job for another charity piece after that. And I get to choose which charity we do it for. Oh, and we'll do, actually, say lie, before the charity piece, we're doing coffee. We're doing a coffee company. I'm working with True Start Coffee. So I'll be all merched up because I'll have True Start everything on as I'm carving away while I'm drinking my coffee. It's the design's pretty cool, actually. I really like it. And the coffee looks great. I can't say if it's any good or not because I've not tried it. But it's but it looks really nice. I've got like a natural coffee that I'm looking forward to. Like the start your day type of no sugar, no sweetener coffee. I'm looking forward to that. So I'll let you know what it's like. Get a discount if you want some. If I'm buying with my eyes, the branding looks great. British company. I feel like I need to be on it with this chisel. What's that? Will I have this finished tonight? Don't think I will, actually. I'd love to, but I don't think I will. I want to have it finished before next Friday. I've got opticians. I don't want to get specs and then look at it and think, oh my god, I've done an awful job of that. Not quite made the 10,000 yet. We are, I was actually just talking to my son about it, we are 296 subscribers away. from 10,000. And when we get to 10,000, I didn't realise this. I might have mentioned it last week, so I did learn it last week. When you get to 10,000, you're officially classed as an influencer. My wife just mocked me and laughed at me when I told her that. She'll still drink the free coffee though. This is a tough little piece of stone. How have you been this week, Jim? No free scones. No free scones. Unless you know a scone company want to trade for some free scones for carving their logo. It's a really tough piece of stone, actually. It's it looked lovely when I picked it up and cut it, but it'll still make a good sign when it's done. Just take a bit more work, but it'll be worth it. I was in the quarry yesterday. Ryan, you'd be interested in this if you're still listening, and Bry. So, pallets of offcuts, and the size of the offcuts can be this size, not square. They can be 30mm, 50mm, but majority, or 60, 70, but majority of them are 50mm. And a full pallet, a ton of stone, all different sizes. Majority of it's smaller than this. £80 for a ton. £80. Stuff you can make with that, 50mm. Yeah, £80. My local quarry. I was in there yesterday. I've just bought £2,000 worth of paving and restoring an old historic footpath through work with volunteers, and they've had it all cut, and I was in there, and while I was waiting for the forklift man, I was having a right good mooch around at it, thinking, but I don't need to be buying any, but anyone who's in the market, that's what you need to do. Bit of a drive for you though, Ryan. Might be worth it if you came with a trailer, I suppose, or if he was up this way. You definitely need to get some of that, right? It's lovely stone. Not as big offcuts as I used to buy from the other quarry, but still very good. They won't deliver it now. They won't deliver it. I mean, what would they charge for delivery? I suppose you could get you and your, I'm not sure if you're married, but partner, you could have a weekend away in the Peak District and just go back with a load of stone. Taking you away for a romantic weekend and just calling here and just picking up this stone along the way. I'm sure it'd go down well. Happy Wednesday, Thomas. It's I'm hoping it's going to look fantastic when it's completed. Thanks for dropping in and saying hello. called Stoke Hall Quarry. No, it's not. It's not called Stoke Hall. They changed the name of it. It's called Stoke Stonework. They changed the name of it because it was under a new company. It used to be part of Marshall's, and they've changed it to Stoke Stonework. I can send you all the details. I was dealing with him today. The guy you want to talk to, if you do contact him, but I know they won't deliver it because it's their offcuts. He does sell it as cash. It's you could arrange your own delivery, I suppose. You might have to pay him a bit extra, but you want to talk to John. John is the man. Same for you, Bri. Go and have a word with John and pick it up. You can just go around with that little trailer of mine and do a couple of trips. Perfect for the stuff you make, Brad. You know, the mushrooms and stuff. It's that bit more gritty than that really fine Breton. Wonder if we'll see Connor this evening. A few of the regulars. It was nice to see Jim's name pop up. Nice to get 6 thumbs up. Like always, we're aiming for double figures. Early days. I was 10 minutes late though. Fashionably late. That's what I was. So as we start carving this and moving round, you'll have to let me know how it's coming across on camera. I need to tweak the angle of the camera. We're getting some shadow lines. Can people see what we're doing? You regulars can keep me updated. Ryan says the mic's working well. Well, I know John wouldn't mind that at all. Once you've marked it up, what's yours, he won't mind it at all. You'd have to borrow a car with a tow bar. I'm going to have to make sure I keep this sharp this evening. Talking of sharp, I sharpened my chainsaw. I've had got some lovely free ash. I bought the works trailer home actually, loaded up with ash. So what I paid, I've got quite a lot of wood cut and split now for the burner, and what I paid for, what I paid £180 for, I processed in one afternoon the other day. It was like a perfect day. So I went swimming in the morning, came back, had some poached eggs from the chickens at home we've got, and then spend the afternoon on the chainsaw and then splitting and stacking all the wood, tidied it all up, had a shower, and then got a train to Sheffield and went to met one of my mates for a couple of beers and a curry. So now I've got plenty of wood stacked and ready, but I'd like to be a few years ahead. Obviously it's got a season, and we were talking about it last week with the ash. You don't need to season it as long, but I like to get a few years ahead of it. So, but I'm going to sharpen the chainsaw ready for the next load. What does this mean? What does this to me with emoji? I don't have a clue. I feel like I'm being tricked. One thing I did do, bought myself a sawhorse, a metal frame one, and actually it's pretty good. But originally I was going to make a timber one, which would have been better, it would have been stronger, it would have been nice. It would have cost me more in timber what I paid for the metal one. And also, I thought to myself, if I build a solid wooden one, I've got to store it, when actually the metal one, I can just fold up. So I give in to buying a fold up one rather than make one, and actually think it was a good idea because now it's out of the way, tucked away until I need it. Ooh, arms are aching. I'm sure we can get up to double figures with these likes. You can see we're only on 6. It'd be great if we could, all the people watching right now, if you haven't already, just double tap the screen. If you want to be super amazing, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers on the channel. And the channel, if you're stumbling across it and you're new, the channel is all about teaching you different skills. So we have tutorials on stone carving like this, letter carving, different chisels you need to use, different equipment, discount codes on chisels, reviewing some of the cheapest chisels, teaching you dry stone walling. There's like over 300 videos on there now. All how to hold a hammer properly, how to make your own house sign, water features, all different bits on there. And every night, every Wednesday night, we go live and do some carving together. You can send me pictures in of what you've been working on. I can put it on the community tab for people to have a look at. And we're growing a really nice community. The aim is to get to 10,000. That goal was actually set by my daughter. I'm trying to get to it, but my actual goal for myself now, I want to double that, but I know that's going to take a long time, so that's on the back burner until we've got past the 10,000. Let's get past 10,000 and then see how we get on. You never know, we might have influx of people wanting to subscribe to the channel. Yeah, and if you think, oh, I really like this, my friend John will like this, or Kathy will like this, send it to him. We do lots of charity work. We do requests and we do commissions. And sometimes I just call whatever I like, which is quite nice at times. Just swigging my tea. And very rarely, and I mean, it's not happened for many months, we get a tip. But they were the days when, before I moved house, and we were getting lots and lots of views on each video. Them days will come back. We've just got to keep producing the content. YouTube's not happy with me at the moment because I had a break to move house. YouTube's very fickle. Hey, one thing to be careful to you all, if you're working with stone or anything really big and heavy, ask go to the doctors, which is unlike me to go to. Want to go to the doctors? Let me just see what this message says. Branding. So we do lots of lettering. You're in the right place with lettering. So I teach lots of lettering. I'm actually a letterist by trade. So hit the subscribe button, have a look round, see what you see. Any questions, let me know. There's reviews on chisels and all sorts on there for you to get going. Like I said, any questions, drop me a comment and I'll do my best to help you out. This is a good way, doing stuff like this, to practice actually for lettering, to get in all them straight lines to work on. So as I was saying, if you go to the doctors, be careful. Sorry, I had to go to the doctors this week. So if you're working in the garden, there's springs around the corner, or you're doing anything with stone, anything heavy. So I can remember doing this, and I never really put it together. I was lifting a really heavy piece of wood. I remember feeling this thing in my chest, thinking, wow, that hurt, that was heavy. And at the time, just left it. And then obviously it got a little bit better, but there was a slight pain. And then I kept disturbing it. But you just kind of live with it and you don't realise what's what. So then at Christmas I got this little chest infection and it was there, I could feel it. And then I finally decided, after months and months and months, I'll go and see the doctor about it. I don't like the doctor. Turns out what I did that day when I was lifting that really heavy piece of wood, there's in between my sternum and my rib, there's cartilage, and a few of them he was feeling them, and he says that about 3 or 4 areas that cartilage is inflamed, and that's the pain. That's where the pain's coming. And you'll see I'm breathing there. My body was stopping at like 70-80%, so I wasn't getting full lung capacity because it knew there was a little bit of pain. So it was stopping, and he's put me on these high-powered anti-inflammatories. And no joke, within 6 hours of taking the first one, it was so much better. So much better. It was unbelievable. So just be careful if you're lifting heavy things. It's make sure you're doing it all your manual handling properly. Don't be a hero and try and lift it all on your own. And now I go swimming. I've been going swimming 4 or 5 times a week for the last 3 weeks or so, and really enjoy it. And the actual difference with the swimming, I broke my personal best yesterday. Just now I've got them tablets, which is great. So that's a question, Brandon, I've answered many times on here, but not for a while actually. So many years ago, I was what we're saying, like, been doing stonework for 15 years, but at the beginning I was a dry stone waller. So let's say 12 years ago, let's say, I was building a dry stone wall for a customer, and she wanted me to just to delay it while she got a house sign made. Evening, Connor. Hope you're doing well. She wanted a house sign making, and at a time I needed to get paid. And I should have been honest with her, really, but I said, I should have just said, can I get paid for where I'm up to, and then I'll come back. But it didn't really work like that at the time. So I said, well, I'll do the house sign, don't worry. And I'd seen my dad do a little bit of carving on bits, mainly wood. And I thought, I can have a go at that. So I went and got a piece of stone. I like working with things. I like stone. I was obviously a dry stone waller. Marked it out, printed the sign out on Word on my computer, stuck it to the back of a pizza box, cut it out with a Stanley knife, drew it on a piece of stone, and went at it with a claw hammer and some wood chisels. And the finished product, she was really happy. Ruined the wood chisels. She was really happy with the finished product. So much so, next door wanted one, and then I got contacted to do a headstone for a local driving instructor who passed away, a Polish fella. Did that, and then I suppose the rest is history. And then from that point, I did it part time alongside dry stone walling. Then I did it full time, built a business, shipped stuff all around the world. Went from having one small little building and a tiny saw to having how many? 1, 2, 3, like 5 buildings, 6 buildings at a push. We call one a building. Forklifts, a yard full of like 20 grand of stone, shipping it all around the world. There was 4 or 5 of us working on stuff, and then got rid of that, became a park ranger, and now I'm on YouTube talking to you about it. So it's if we sat down and spoke about it all properly, it's a bit of a crazy story. All from dry stone walling. And I wasn't even meant to be at the place where I was going to become a dry stone waller. I was meant to be at college to be a plumber, but I didn't turn up. Universe intervened, stopped me going, so I could come and do this with you guys. So hopefully, Brandon, that answers your question. How's Connor? How are we doing this week? Is everyone doing well? We're struggling for hitting those double figures on the likes. I was hoping this design, as people see it, might come to life. Maybe you just can't see it very well on camera, so I'll try and move it a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Picked up an injury, that's not good. How's that? What's the injury? your injury, I would imagine, will be worse than mine. I cut my finger on a tape measure. And I didn't think anything of it until I had some salt and vinegar crisps. And then it's... ooh. Let's just find my other chisel in a minute. Ooh, it sounds nasty. Is it a couple of days off work, or is it a soldier on through job? Sail on through. I like what you've done there. I like what you've done. So it's looking like the next charity piece I'm going to work on at the moment might change, but it's looking like it's going to be Andy's Man's Club. You know Andy's Man's Club, anybody? So we did that great project with Hike with Mike. And I think Andy's Man's Club is next. So if anyone's just tuning in and they've got any questions about what we're up to, what the material is, what chisels I'm using, how they can go about having a go at doing this themselves, if you fancy it as a bit of a hobby. It's a great therapeutic hobby. If you, we have lots of people contact us at the channel saying now they've just got into it and they needed that bit of a hobby. Lots of people who struggle with their mental health get in touch and say, I found some real comfort in this, carving this and watching the videos. And if you're one of them and you just sat in the background and you don't really want to chat, but you want to send me a private message, feel free. Yeah, you're right, Connie. They do work with men's mental health. It's so I think they have different meeting points around the country. The one what have contacted me to work with them is Rotherham. Rotherham's Andy's Man's Club, and they're actually based at the football ground. So they want to know. They've seen one of the football carvings and wondered if we can do them a football carving. And I said, well, I've got a great community. I'm sure will help us promote it. Sure, what will get behind it, and they'll watch us carve it one weekend. and hopefully raise them some money. Slightly disappointed because they beat my team on penalties about 3 weeks ago. So, but oh well, can't hold a grudge. So how's this starting to come across on camera? Are we starting to see? I think as I move up, I think it'll get better. So what I've got to do now, I've got to decide, do I go up on the left hand side and work so I can keep the camera where it is, or do I move the camera so I can get on here? I think the camera is quite nice where it is. Hopefully people can see it, and I'll just work around this left hand side for a little bit. Or if you're watching and thinking, and you hear me talk about different mental health charities we're going to be working with, and you think, do you know what? I know someone who'd really like to get involved in that. Speak up. I like working with all different people. Might have to go on a waiting list, but we'll get there. We'll get round to it. We have to do a few commissions in between. But we like raising money. I like helping people. How did the fishing go? How did the fishing go on Friday night? How's my night going? My night's going okay. It'll be even better when I manage to hit double figures on the thumbs up, and we get to that magical 10,000 subscribers. That'll be a great night when that happens. And what am I making? So I'm carving this stag on this piece of Derbyshire gritstone. A design I've had in the background for a little bit now. Finally got it finished. And then I'm going to sell it. Got no idea what it'll sell for. It might sell for £20 or it might sell for £200. I've got no idea. And it said hi dear. So I went for a stage. I said hi dear. That is when I first started making videos. I kept doing that, and my wife had just mocked me every time she heard me or heard it on a video. You know, I was going to tune in on Friday night and I didn't even get round to it. Do you know why? My wife went out and I had to go and pick her up. And my daughter had people round, son was on the computer and I was on my own. And I thought, oh, should I do some stone carving? So I watched some YouTube, and in the end I went swimming. They had a pizza and I went swimming. Might change to a different hammer. Oh, we're on 11. 11 thumbs up. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. Who watched the rugby? We were talking about rugby, weren't we, last week? Who watched the Six Nations? Have I done wild swimming? I know I haven't done wild swimming. I've got a good friend or work colleague, I would say he is, who wild swims regular in the river, which is a very clean river, and he really enjoys it and he swears by it. But I tell you what, I've known him for 2 years now and he's ill a lot. But I'm not sure it's anything to do with that. But I do quite fancy it. It's so not tried the wild swimming yet, but one day I will. So the rugby, I enjoyed the Welsh game. One of my friends at work and a guy I go fishing with is Welsh, and it took all my willpower not to text him. I waited and waited until Tuesday morning, and then he thought he got away with it, and then just casually said, "Hey Tom, did you watch the rugby?" And he just head down and left, and that was just enough. That it would have been nicer if England had won. Did he really do wild swimming ceremony? Well, I'm not going wild swimming in February, I can tell you that. If I'm doing it, it needs to be like Central Europe in like August, July. Wow. Make me say wow, wow. There we go. We've managed it. Wales could be the new Italy, actually. I think Italy will always be Italy. Wales are just having a really, really, really bad run. I'm just going to make the most of it while I can. I'm not sure they're going to be Italy, but I am going to use that when I see them tomorrow. I'm going to say, do you know what? I was on YouTube last night and someone said, oh, Wales are new Italy. That's a great name. Make me say wow. Feel like we can take that away with us tonight. Do you know when we used to talk about Italy are definitely improving every year. They're getting incredible. It's they are definitely improving. I spoke to someone about that last year. You remember when we was in the old workshop? The Ten Commandments. Sorry, I got distracted then. Oh, I mean, that'd make a YouTube video, wouldn't it? I could send it to my local church. The Ten Commandments. Wow. It's pretty cool to do. I mean, I'm not a religious man at all, but it would be pretty cool to do that. And I have one arm like Popeye from holding the hammer. So when we used to be in the old workshop and we were carving away, maybe this time last year, there used to be a point where we'd all had torture because I'd get hungry and think, oh, what shall I have for supper? Or tell you about what I had for tea. So it's 8 o'clock. I reckon we should have this segment where every time we're halfway through, it's at 8 o'clock, we're allowed to talk about what we had to eat or what we're having to eat. I always get a bit hungry. I used to quite like it because I used to take some inspiration from what other people had and think, oh yeah, just like fancy that. Remember someone said they had fish finger sandwiches, and I ended up having fish finger sandwiches the next day. So I had fish cakes, some homemade potato, like air fried loveliness with some Cajun seasoning on, some fish cakes, some broccoli, and some peas, and I was happy with that. Anybody going to share what they had? Toad in the hole. Wow, that's solid. I do love it. It's been a long time since I had a toad in the hole. Sometimes, well, it's been a long time, but I'm not sure if it was the last time or not, but we did the Yorkshire puddings and the toad and the hole separately, and it was deconstructed toad in the hole like you get on MasterChef. I do like toad in the hole. So after this, I'm going to go and watch The Great British Menu. It's one of my favourite programmes on telly. Oops. Ooh. I did bring the camera pretty close. Toad in the Hole, yeah. That might be on this weekend now, Connor. See, that's exactly what I wanted, people to inspire me. Do you go around like the same... You end up going around the same meals? Is that Toad in the Hole perfect? Is that what we mean there? Used to love to go to the Light Bodies Bakery. Little cakes for tea. Little cakes for tea, nice. I like a little cake. Who don't like a little cake? Perfect. Wagyu meatballs in bolognese sauce. Wow. That's fancy. Mexican food. Do love Mexican food. I love spicy food. Yeah, that does sound good, that. I think meatballs sounds very good. So we've had a little bit of sunshine today, and we've got some nice sunshine tomorrow. And I've not smoked anything on my smoker since Boxing Day, and it was tasty, the brisket we had on Boxing Day. My brain's just starting to think, oh, there's a little bit of spring in the air. It's not going to be a long now until I'm smoking some meat. I've been to the garden centre and bought all my seeds I've got to get in the greenhouse on Friday. So no, I'm not going to be long. I went through a stage of having ramen, like beef bone ramen. Enjoy that. Nice kick to it, so you can get some extra seasoning. What I'd added myself, so because I like it a lot hotter than the rest of the family. It was called Yo Mama, maybe something like that. I do like spicy food. I like smoked meat, spicy food. The mutton curry, I had a mutton curry on Saturday night. That was tasty. That had a nice kick to it. A kick what complemented a nice IPA to go with it. Which is what you want from a curry if you're going out and having a curry and a beer with your friend. It's exactly what you want. Ooh. Well, that's a good cue to move the camera, because I'm going to do a bit on this side. Hopefully that's coming through okay still. Look at that, new thumbs up just came through as I moved the camera. Thank you. We had tacos on Monday night. They were laden with chili. I like a chili con carne, really do. Can't get enough of kidney beans. So I'd like to get this even down each side. I saw there is a great spice. You're not wrong. So now I'm hungry and now I want spicy food. Peanut brittle. Bride's been up the Derwent Valley building the dry stone wall. Is this the project you spoke to us about before? You're going to be there for a while. And we need some pictures. Is there anybody new lurking in the background who is new to the channel this evening? Come forward and say hi. It's always nice to see the new people. I know there's not many people watching right now. Is that you? Are you new? You're not lurking in the background, but hi. Nice to meet you. We love new people on the channel. The problem is some people who will chat, I never know if we've seen them before because we just get so many comments, especially before we moved. It was crazy at one point. Couldn't keep up with it. Connor and Brian, Luke were working hard as moderators on the channel at one point. Been very steady recently. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You're going to take it steady. Maybe don't do it every day. Or maybe do some yoga. So I'm not sure if you... I'm not sure if you've had a look round the channel. I know you're new, so hopefully you haven't because you've just been watching this live and having a chat with us. But there's all sorts on the channel for you to get stuck into and have a look at. Some of my first ever videos, which were atrocious. Some people will say they've not improved too much. I like to think we've improved a bit. Yeah, there's some videos dating back a few years, over 300 on there now, so have a look at how to carve letters, build dry stone walls, carve house signs, carve your own house sign, all bits and bobs like that. But I think you'll find really useful and interesting. Some shorts, even some videos what will offer you a discount code if you want to buy any tools, and reviewing some of the cheapest chisels you can find on the internet. They're like £13.5. And for their price, they're not bad. Not bad at all. It's a great hobby. Looking forward to them warmer days so we can do we'll do some dry stone walling together on a live. I've got plenty of it to do at home. Well, plenty of it to do at work, but especially at home. some live dry stone walling days. They're going to be tricky because obviously reading the camera, I'll have to not be able to stop as much when I'm walling, otherwise I'll never get anything done. And we're running a couple of events this year for anybody who wants to learn to dry stone wall. Well, not for anybody, it'll be limited spaces, but the people who want to learn to dry stone wall. I was going to do one in April, but turns out April's a busy month. It'd be nice to see some pictures of the wall you're building, Bri, when you get a chance to send them in. Then maybe I can put them up there for everyone to see. No, I know what you mean, but you can cushion the noise down. So there's a few ways you can do it. So you can so behind this easel here is a full packet of sheep's wool. You know, like what I used to call rock wool. Same thing you right now as sheep's wool. The back of this to deaden it out. So this sounds louder than it possibly is, but sitting it on carpet and stuff really helps. And actually, instead of using stone, there's a video on the channel about doing a mortar mix, chiseling, and that's really quiet. Actually, surprisingly quiet. Luckily, I don't have any neighbours, so. But I know what you mean, because my old workshop I had neighbours, and I used to worry about that. Even one of the people once came on my YouTube channel and says, "Matty, is that you banging?" It's they didn't complain. They were actually buying tickets for a charity carving I was doing at the time, and then they could hear it, and they didn't realise I was doing it at home. They thought I was doing it down at my other workshop. But I was very lucky because I live next door to my sister, so that was good. What do we think to Donald Trump and his tariffs? I was hoping we'd have a few of our American subscribers on this evening. I was going to ask them what their views are on Donald Trump and his new tariffs on everything, or threatening tariffs. I know we're okay in this country at the minute, and he's playing a game with China, Mexico, and Canada. I've had a delay for a month. But Denmark are just happy he's not talking about Greenland. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again. So we're live every Wednesday, 7 till 9, and then I try and do little bits in between when I can. I've possibly neglected them extra little bits recently because I've been chopping wood, doing bits around the house, and truth be told, lots of swimming. So I think it's really difficult, my views on Donald Trump, because I don't like the guy. The problem is some of the stuff he says is quite accurate and actually not that silly, and maybe he's saying some bits where you think, yeah, there's some truth in that. But then there's some absolute garbage as well at the same time, and it's very tricky. Very, very tricky. I was working with a financial advisor today. He was volunteering with me, and he specialised in pensions. I learned loads about pensions. Loads and loads about pensions, and actually the way of looking at things, which was really nice. I'm looking forward to working with him again. I have loads of questions for him. And he was saying he doesn't like Donald Trump. Similar to what I've just said, some of his stuff is correct, and maybe he's quite bold at saying it. And maybe other people are thinking it in politics, but not saying it out loud, and kind of walking on eggshells like Starmer. But it's been great for the stock market. So I've just moved that fan so it's coming down at an angle. Things have just picked up that bit of cold now. And Connor, I did think about a heater behind the fan, and I just didn't have one to hand. Ooh, I need a translation on that. It's a question. That's about all I've got from that, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Yeah, just like the idea. What kind of material? Oh, so it's Derbyshire stone. Thanks for that, Connor. You were quick off the mark there. What type of stone? Yeah, Derbyshire stone. It's and I'm carving it using tungsten tip chisels and a nylon hammer, and there's a little bit of a dummy hammer every now and then getting chucked in for good measure. I forget you get the translate button on your end, don't you? I don't get that here. was like fastest finger first there on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Nice. Well, it's thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time to comment. Nice comment. Don't forget to hit the like button, and have a great day. So I was looking back through my analytics a couple of nights ago. My wife was watching a program about, it was like something quite depressing about someone being murdered in America, and it's and I was looking through my analytics on my phone. Do you know the difference when spring comes around for people viewing my channel for dry stone walling is incredible. People out in the garden, absolutely incredible. I'm really hoping it's going to have some amazing shadow lines when it's done. It's I've actually moved my light above. I don't know if I move it again, it might make it better. That's where it should live. Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to have some nice shadow lines. I've got some live edge timber behind me, and I'm considering just running it around the edge. you know, I never got to the bottom of why the other headphones / mic were not stopped working with the hammer noise, because they work absolutely fine on everything. I can make a video with it and pick up the hammer noise, no problem. But when it was on that live, them couple they just were not working. But then this new mic, everyone tells me it's working great. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we've got just over half an hour? Do you reckon we can get another 6 thumbs up on the video? Can we get it to 20? Nice if we got up to that magical 20. There must be some of you watching right now, not double tapped on the screen. It makes a massive difference. I know you've heard me all say it so many times. So many times you've heard me say what a difference it makes. But actually, for small content creators like myself, it's massive. It's like buying something from a shop. Just hitting that thumbs up. The algorithm, YouTube really help. You stick it on there. YouTube think this guy's doing a good job. Let's get him a bit more exposure. And for me to hit that 10,000 subscriber goal, exposure is what we need. So if you could hit the like button, I'd massively appreciate it. We've got 5 to go. We've just had an extra one. Whoever you was, give yourself a little tap on the back. There's a lot of small content creators out there who put in some serious graft for their little channels. If you come across any when you're scrolling, or is it called? Yeah, scrolling's the right word, isn't it? When you're going through, you come across any, just give them a little boost by double click on the screen. Really, really helps people out like myself. If you're feeling super generous, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you come back next week. Have a look at all the other videos on the channel. It's scary to think the amount of views we've had in total now, and the amount of exposure the channel's had, amount of companies what have contacted them, people we've worked for over the years. Can't believe we've actually made it this far. It's absolutely incredible. I know I mentioned the 10,000 subscriber goal quite a bit. That's because my daughter set it for me, and it feels like a real milestone to hit that. Like far beyond anything I ever imagined we'd get close to. But even if we never gained another subscriber, I think I'm happy with what we've managed to achieve in this little channel. I'm hoping it's not finished. I hope we're going to keep on going and get more, but it's so much more than I ever expected. So what type of people, so if this is going up for sale, what type of people shall I market it at? Country gentlemen, hunters, Scottish people, big old country houses, pubs. I once bought a stag candle, you know, like it was a decent size. It was really, really nice, and it got too hot, so it got too hot, and it drooped in the sun in the window. Park Rangers, that's a good one. Could market it at Park Ranger. A venison burger van. I think it'd look nice in a country pub when it's got a nice frame. When this is all, the stone's all sealed and darkened up, I think with a nice frame round it, I think it'd look good in a country pub. Fingers are chilly. It was a bit of a shock this morning. I wasn't expecting that frost on the car. I don't know if the rest of you got any frost, but it took me by surprise. I said bye to everyone at home, said bye to the dogs, set off out the door. 30 seconds later, I'm back for the scraper. Brian, I'm not sure if you're still watching, but did you watch Friday Night Fishing Live? I've not managed to watch one yet. Maybe I could go back and re-watch one, sticking my comment on to show that I've been watching, because I haven't. Yeah, that's a good one. Nice gamekeeper in Scotland. Yeah, send him a picture of it. See if he likes it. You can give us some feedback. Not seeing any of the American subscribers tonight, like Santa and Make Knives Great Again. Well, it's quite a few we have actually from. I can't think of all the names. Did he catch anything? Catching rays. Oof. Oh, you don't have to apologise. It's I think I just talk for talking's sake sometimes. Never sure the best approach with YouTube. I think when there's lots of comments and lots of stuff going on, it's nice to chat. But I'm never sure when it's steady. I see other YouTube channels where they're just getting the head down and doing, or should I just keep chatting? Really, never sure. So this approach has worked for us so far. Well, that's that. I've got two people agreeing. We're going to have a keen frost again tomorrow morning because it's given -2 or 3 where I am tonight. Two degrees. It's cold, isn't it? Really. I mean, it's February. You get a little taste of the little bit of nice weather though. All you've got is what about? So you're Devon. What about some slate? There, you've got to have some. I know you've got that Welsh slate, but any local slate? You're going to have to take a trip to the Peak District or to Yorkshire and pick up some stone. So I'm not sure what you paid for that piece of slate, what you've been working on, which is a beautiful piece of slate. unfortunately, was it not square when you got it? So whatever you've paid for it, if this is £80 up here, could you commit yourself to a bit of fuel money, drive up, pick up some stone, drive back, and what it cost you, make a couple of bits out of it? Dorset, yeah, if you could make a couple of bits out of it, and then you could Dorset, not Devon. And could you sell them, make your money back, make your fuel money back from the stuff you've sold, made? I was close with a D. No points carving on just sand. Ooh, sharpen that up, I think. No, you definitely would need permission. Job, wife, kids, yeah, that's another baby on the way. Yeah, it's going to be a tough sell, that. Chili on the old fingers. There was one night last year and I was carving away and it was roasting. And I remember thinking to myself at the time, don't complain about it because you'll appreciate this in the winter. Yeah, I'd love a little bit of that heat right now. Oh, we're up to 16. We're getting in there before we finish at 9. Tantalisingly close to 20 at 16. Snuck one in there then. Sneaked, I nearly said sneaked. My wife would be on me. Oof. I think it's coming together. It's I think it's going to look nice. I think, like you said earlier, Connor, I think the shadow lines on it are going to look nice. Yeah, I think it's going to come together quite well. So far, I'm happy. Yorkstone paving slabs are brilliant for carving from a reclamation yard, but they've got to be solid stone. You can't go for concrete ones. You've got to, or Indian stone, avoid them. But if you can get some Yorkstone paving, really, really nice. As long as it's a solid stone, you'll be fine with a paving slab. There's actually a video on the channel of me carving a paving slab, a Yorkstone paving slab. Great big one it was for a farm. Got some cheekbones on him, this lad, hasn't he? So we'll be finishing this one next Wednesday. Hopefully you'll all be around. Reclamation yard, you'd think would have some pavers. I tell you also, a lot of reclamation yards now are online. So even if it wasn't close to you, they'd possibly send it you in the post. Because they'll have a setup, they'll have a courier thing set up, ready to do it. So there's a few reclamation yards close to me. And obviously people are buying big old things from them. And they ship it around. One's called Birchover Reclamation. They'd ship it for you where you needed to go. I'm sure they would. There definitely will be some, like on eBay, for example. A lot of them advertise online now. When I'm going to bring it back, we were going to go to France this year for the volunteering on the plane, but we're actually going in the car. And this year I'm going to bring a piece of their limestone back for carving on the channel, and it's beautiful. It's like, I'd say it's like carving chalk. It's not quite chalk. It holds an edge a lot better than that. But it's oops, just hit the. That's terrible, isn't it? Let's hit the old camera. But it's beautiful stone. Really, really is beautiful stone. So I'm looking forward to that. Not long. April comes around quick. Hoping the weather's good. They've got a lovely pool, the people we stay with, but it's all heated from the sun. And when we were there first year, which was about April time, the weather was stunning. Second time round was November. Whew, cold. Really cold it was, actually. So I'm into my last 5 minutes of stone carving with you for tonight. So if there's any people sat in the background who are new to the channel, we are live every Wednesday, 7 till 9. I'll be finishing this next Wednesday. This is actually going up for sale. So if you stumbled across it and thought, well, I like that, or you think you know someone who'd like it, send it to them. Come and watch me carve it next week. So it's all carved by hand, hammer and chisel. So you've got a dummy hammer, tungsten tip chisels, a variety of them. Or if you're just stumbling across the channel thinking, do you know what, I'm looking for a hobby, or I fancy having a go at that, or you're already doing a bit of carving, the channel has got loads and loads of videos on all different things. That's dry stone walling, stone carving, carving letters, bird baths, water features, making water features, making bird baths, carving into them. It's also got tutorials, it's got reviews on chisels, it's got discount codes on there, it's got everything you need. So it's yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I think you might like it. It's over 300 videos, and we're close to 10,000 subscribers. The community at the TheStoneRanger is genuinely one of the best ones out there. So it's yeah, stick around for a few more. What we've got here, they've got York stone blocks. So block, be careful with a block, because you want a paver, not a block. A block might be like a set, you know, like you'd get as a driveway set. You'd still be able to carve them, but it'll be chunky and it'll sit into ground. You want a paving slab, really. Maybe go and have a look at them, or ask them for some dimensions. You want it about 50, 75 mil thick. And like, I don't know, what's this? This is 16 inches by 12 inches, something like that would be perfect. Absolutely perfect for carving on and practicing on. I bought one 2 foot square, and it was £30. The good thing about them, they're really dark and weathered on top, but then when you carve into it, it's light. So it's really nice to carve. You get that contrast straight away, which is great. Tell you what else this would be good for. I'm talking about selling this one. Can you remember that company what used to I don't. They might still be around. I don't know. Used to sell chili in a can called Stag Chili. Oh. I feel like we're doing well there. If it wasn't so cold, I'd possibly stick around a little bit longer to do some more. But it's cold. Okay, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. See you next week, Brian, Ryan, and Connor. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you all soon.